from New York and on the new Hot 97 app. Ebro in the morning on Hot 97.
I was in the garden last night. I had some pretty good seats, too. Just off the floor, so it was a good look, man. I had a good little view. You go to my IG story, so I got a little bit of this performance from inside. Yo, the whole place was standing up.
Nice. Of course.
The whole place was standing up. As soon as, because I think it came right after a commercial break, so when you're in there, obviously you can see them setting up.
Yeah.
Yo, from people seeing her get in position, I mean, Hov, B, Diddy, Nas, Rihanna, everybody was up. Kendrick, everybody was up like, get it.
She was doing it.
Yeah, man.
She was doing it in full glory, looking good.
Yo, Tony
good.
Bennett was on his feet.
Clapping.
Yeah, he was ready. He was ready for it, man. Gaga, literally everybody was excited last night for Cardi B because it's one of those Cinderella stories.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, and she didn't walk away with a trophy, but still, man, you walk away saying you're Grammy nominated. There's not even a lot of people who can say that. And performed on national, international television.
All of that was the trophy.
Yo, Rosenberg, how'd you feel about the Grammys overall last night?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, bro. I'm not quite as celebratory, but shout out to Cardi B. That was a nice moment. But last night, the Grammys deciding to give all the major categories to Bruno Mars was so typical.
Damn, the hate, man.
It was so typical, man. And listen, let me be clear. Remember, Ebro, you turned me on Bruno. I went to the concert with my wife. I love the Bruno album. I listened to the Bruno album a lot. But ultimately, let's just be honest. The Bruno album's amazing, but it's an impression.
Yeah,
that album isn't original.
Yeah,
it's not an original.
Absolutely.
It is an impression. And so what they did last night by giving Bruno all the big awards to me, it would be like giving an award to a comedian whose whole bit was doing impressions of other comedians instead of giving Eddie Murphy the award for Raw, because that's what Kendrick Damn was. Kendrick Damn was an original, provocative, amazing piece of work. And Bruno, I love Bruno's work, but it wasn't original.
So let me unpack it for you. So you think Bruno should have got Album of the Year and not Song of the Year and Record? So you think Kendrick should have got Album of the Year?
Damn's a much better album, a more important album than Bruno's album.
See, I believe
Bruno's album's great. It's entertaining.
For me, I wanted Hov to get Album of the Year. I wanted Kendrick to get Rap Album of the Year, but I wanted Hov to get Album of the Year.
I did too.
But Hov's album just wasn't better than Kendrick's. That just wasn't. No matter how you slice it, Ebro. I mean, I love it, and I know you love the story behind it. But it wasn't as culturally impactful.
I like the songs on Hov's album. I like what it's about. I like the precedent that it set. I like the way the samples were used. I like everything about Hov's album. Me personally. It wasn't the same as Kendrick. It didn't get as much radio play. It may not have had the same accolades, sales, or whatever. But it was important for me as a hip-hop fan. And that's why I said for me. Obviously, the 14,000 Grammy voting members ain't thinking just about hip-hop. But for me,
and also, it was important for you as an older hip-hop fan,
yes,
I think, too.
Yes,
I think Kendrick's, but I think Damn was important to every demographic of hip-hop. And I think in the moment, for several months, the Kendrick album
Kendrick
rang
got
off.
5 awards last night, bro. Jay-Z
but it's
got
that album
0,
of the year, bro.
Man.
Yeah, Jay-Z got 0, and the message behind Jay's album at this time was so important too. I don't know. I feel like he should have walked away with something.
Hov's got 1 billion.
It doesn't matter. We're talking about 444 right now.
Yeah, but hold on. Was 444 better than Damn?
To me, it was different. I
was
can't
it
compare.
better? Does anyone in the room actually think it was better though?
Better how?
Like song for song. Song for song.
It's different too. Like, I'm happy that Kendrick won Best Rap Album. But I just feel like that 444 album deserves something.
Listen, I already think, as we said the other day in the interview with No ID, which you can watch on YouTube right now, the success of 444 was the win. That's all it needed. Hov doesn't need more accolades. And listen, it would have been cool. I'll be honest though. I would have been way happier 444. You know what? You're right. Let me amend this. 444 over Bruno all day also. Absolutely. One of the rap albums to me should have won. It was an important moment where a rap album could have won overall album of the year. And in a year in which hip hop officially became the biggest genre of music in the world and dominated the major categories, in the end, it wasn't hip hop that won. It was the derivative pop radio version that won. That's what happened. They had to give it to Bruno. Love you, Bruno, but let's be clear. Bruno's album was stripped down Teddy Riley. That's what the album was. Beautifully done, but an impression. Kendrick and Hove made original bodies
I don't
of
know,
work.
you keep calling it an impression. I would say like a cover. Like an
you're-
interpolation.
And he said it himself too. Did you hear when he thanked
he better.
Jimmy Jam?
Because that's
and Terry
Jimmy
Lewis?
Jam and Terry Lewis had to clear some of that. They own some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget that.
Oh damn! I shouldn't have
Babyface.
left them out. Teddy Riley, Babyface, Jimmy Jam, and Terry
Spider-Man
Lewis.
and Freeze, that Poison.
And that was easier. That was easier. So they didn't want to give it to the rap category. You know, rap could be the biggest one.
Well,
it
it's
can
also
get all the
to
eyeballs.
It's also to the structure of that album of the year, which is why for me, I don't. You know, people that are in the country world or this world, classical, whatever, everyone votes in the album of the year, I believe, of the all 14,000. In the rap categories, the voting members are, I think, registered in those genres. Like that's their area of expertise.
Right.
And then they have committees that make sure that these categories are vetted and it's not just playing favorites. But the album of the year feels like it just always goes to either playing favorites or whomever just has the most prominent name,
I can see that.
which is, I think, a real indictment of the Grammys that they're going to have to address. Right? Because to Rosenberg's point, you have Bruno Mars, who's a phenomenal album. Everybody loves it. We do Bruno Mars Appreciation Day on this program. We celebrated that album for months. So we're not against the album. But him winning, I think he won all three of those, right? Record of the year, song of the year, and album of the year. Mm-hmm. That's problematic. But I guess in true Grammy fashion, just like with the Oscars and any of these major prestigious awards, we're sitting here debating it the day after.
Like, I'm still mad at that SZA didn't win anything.
SZA, wow. That's another
I'm still
one.
mad that SZA did. And by the way, guys, again, we love Alessia Cara. Love. She's
The
wonderful.
nicest person.
Like, super bright, talented.
The
She's
fact that we
amazing.
have to throw the
But-
disclaimer on things so that
crazy.
people don't get offended.
Because you already know that people are going to be
pisses
like,
me
how
off.
dare you? But SZA, man, the most nominated woman at the Grammys, 5 nominations. She walked away with nothing.